Hello there, Persuasion class. Curtis. Nice to meet you guys. This week on the discussion board, we're talking about procedural justice and the idea of fairness and how that factors into the decisions we make. And we were asked to bring an example from our personal lives where procedural justice and fairness factored into a decision we made and sort of balanced out the way the scenario played out in our everyday lives. So to start off, I'll just define procedural justice the way it's defined in the dictionary. The way it's defined as procedural justice is the idea of fairness in the process that resolves disputes or allocates resources. One aspect of procedural justice is related to discussions, administration, or justice, or legal proceedings. So to use an example from my own life as to when procedural justice sort of factored into a decision that I made, there was a class where we had to divvy up responsibilities in a group project. However, the one problem was one of our students was a commuter student, didn't have the ability to readily be in the labs and places where the resources that we needed to do the project were. So it really wasn't fair to that person to ask them to participate at an equal level as the other group members. However, it wasn't also fair to expect that their grade would be the same because they weren't as involved in the project as the other members. We actually went to the professor for this particular discussion, and we discussed the fairness of the inability of the commuter student to be able to make it on weekends or when we weren't in class for the resources we needed in order to complete the project. He actually developed a separate grading scale for that particular student for the group project in order to keep it fair and to keep it balanced. Personally, I think procedural justice and fairness is very important in decision making, mostly because if something is perceived as fair, it tends to keep all of the various parties happy with whatever decision comes to, even if the decision doesn't specifically benefit all the parties involved. If the decision is fair and balanced, then most people can agree on it. I think the essence of true justice is fairness in a certain sense, that there's balance to the decisions that are made and that all the factors are considered equally so that a decision can be made that can be agreeable and can be fair to all the involved parties. So there's the example from my life and how I feel about procedural justice. It was good seeing you all, and look forward to continuing the class.